Dad and I are on a race on FM26 to take these two clubs that almost went extinct all the way to become Premier League champions. And with us being 6 seasons in now, things are getting interesting as Dad's been flirting with the playoffs in League One for a while. However, recently I have also put my name in contention for those spots too at Morecambe. After having to sell his youth academy prospect for £5 million though, Dad should have a big advantage. But that money was kind of wasted on players who didn't really improve his first team. And I have plans of a new system that I want to utilise for season number 7 that I have high hopes for. That was until the league season began and we started getting absolutely smashed in the league fixtures. Dad, it's been a great start for you. An awful one for me.
Yes.
Dear oh dear. 1 win, 1 draw. Means I'm not sat at the bottom of the league, I guess, but you are currently sat at the top and flying.
5 out of 5. I'm really pleased with this. This could be the season for me.
Yeah, it could be.
I've just got to keep it going.
Yeah, that's been your downside because the last couple of seasons you've been up there.
Yeah.
And I've been down there. We sort of just do this and come close again.
Just hope I have a good finish to the season and keep it going then.
Yeah, so transfers this season was a weird one because I think both of us had quite quiet windows.
Yeah.
In terms of players being released, I only had a few that were actually released in my first team. Better left, Declan Firth, but then Toby Adeyemo was my only striker that left. He's gone to Notts County, unfortunately, but I mean, he is one that I had to replace. He got a good amount of goals, 13 and 14 last season, but he wasn't my main striker, so it wasn't too bad. I managed to keep hold of Kelvin Wi-Fi and Oliver Boast.
2 good signings there, really.
Yeah, so I brought in 2 free transfers. This one here, Umar Abba. What a goalkeeper this is. Could be really good. Could be absolutely solid next year. And I already had 2 or 3 good goalkeepers anyway. So I think now I've got like 3 good goalkeepers. And this one is easily my best. So low wages. And that's the thing when you get a player, because I think he come from the Nigerian league. And I've got him on one of those like assisted work permits that you can see there. Bringing him into England where his wages were so low already, he's only asking for 1.7k. In comparison to the rest of my squad, that is so cheap. Yeah. Because Oliver Boast is on 5 and a bit grand, so's Adeyemo. You're looking at him, he's down here. And he is probably my best player in terms of star rating, which is funny because the other goalkeepers right underneath him also on roughly about 1.5k, and he ain't getting game time now, I'm telling you that, and he's nowhere near as good. So yeah, it's one of those signs where it's just like, I didn't have to sign him because I already had a good goalkeeper, but it just made sense to. I am my father's son. I will sign goalkeepers every now and then too when it's unnecessary. But the other player that I did sign was Calvin Mvogo. Good free transfer. He's got 5 goals already. Another African player that I will utilise in here. He's come from Cameroon. Was he playing? He was playing. So that's 2 free transfers that I've actually got from Africa.
Yeah.
Bringing them across to the UK. And yeah, he started really well. He is a solid player. Really good. If you're looking at physical attributes.
Really good.
Woo! Very fast. Perfectionist personality too. So that 4.5 star potential. I'm excited to see that grow. Potentially cash in on him. Who knows? Not bad technicals. And he's got a finishing ability of 14 with 13 for passing. And it's kind of give me the idea that he needs to play that secondary striker role. But we've got way too many good strikers. So I'm going balls out this year. And you can see we've got 2 strikers here, 3 in behind, 1 centre midfield. We've got an inverted wing back who will drop in here. We've got an inside full back which will make a back 3 alongside the 2 centre backs. But out of possession, we're dragging everybody back, even the strikers, into attacking midfielders. Because there's one thing about this game. The out of possession makes no difference in terms of where they play naturally. It's all about the in possession. Yeah. In terms of where your assistant manager will pick them. So Mvogo, I'm locking into that shadow striker role. It does actually put him in there, but when at the start of the season, it didn't. So McIntosh will go in behind him, which is great. That's perfect. That's exactly who I wanted to go in behind him. Darian Burrows either side. Boast and Kelvin Wi-Fi up front. Yeah, I think my only weakness now is my my back 4, really. But I like that Sefton goes out into that inside fullback role because the reason why he's on an inside fullback role is, yes, he is one of my best left backs. He can't cross. He can't run with the ball or finish. He can't have a long shot. All he can do is defend. So the best thing to keep him to do is just defend. He will drop in here, which, as we can highlight, if we're going up the pitch, he drops in here. Like, we are very solid in that midfield area now if the ball gets dropped out, and that's kind of where we need it to be. Out of possession, we look absolutely solid and really hard to break down. That's my hope. Anyway, it hasn't started well. I did tweak it ever so slightly, I think, after the Wimbledon game, but then we had a tough fixture against Huddersfield, which I was like, well, I can't really judge it on that, especially when Sefton got himself sent off, and then we conceded 2 goals afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Forest. It's Forest.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They've got a great team. But then in the draw against Bristol City at home, who I think might have just come down, was one of the ones I was like, all right, maybe we can trust this. So that's kind of where we're looking at right now because, yeah, Bristol City, did they just come down? Relegation? There we go, relegation. Watford are actually evens to do this. I'm still 22nd. You're in 17th. Let's look at your side, though, Dad, because, yes, you have started really well in terms of the players that you did bring in. We've got a couple of returning faces.
Yes.
One returning face, I should say.
Yeah.
Alfie Hutchinson.
Yeah, he done well for me, so I wanted to try and keep him, and lucky enough, I did. I kept him, so yeah.
Well, you didn't keep him. He went on loan last season. You've actually had him back 3 times.
Well, when you know he's good, isn't he? So, yeah. And he finally decided to come to me then.
He must love it in Essex.
Yeah, of course he does.
So, Alfie Hutchinson.
Yeah, it's a good winger, so probably, good to get him in.
Probably out down the sugar hut in Essex, getting all the poon he can. Alfie Hutchinson, young lad, 22 years of age. I'm a footballer. Yeah, lads. Essex is probably perfect for him, so he's come down to there. Free transfer as well, very good one. He's got 5 goals in 7 games with 3 assists and 2 player of the matches.
Yeah.
He is balling in the sugar. He ain't paying a single drink. Miodrag Pivas from Blackpool. 2 players from Blackpool. 1 centre defensive midfielder that we got here. He looks great.
Yes.
Really good free transfer.
You look at his value already, the 10 million and for a free transfer. I didn't think I was going to get him.
Yeah.
But he agreed to come to me, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Funny enough, like his worst attributes are his passing and tackling.
Yeah. But then if he's a defensive midfielder, which is where I'm going to use him,
he can read the game very well.
Yeah, I don't need that. Just as long as he wins the ball.
We've got Dale Taylor, also from Blackpool, on a free transfer. Looks like a decent striker, to be honest.
Yeah.
Won't go into the first team. He's on high wages.
Yes. Yeah.
Nearly $9,000 a week.
But that's the caliber of players I'm trying to get in now, though, and they're going to ask me type of wages.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's got 2 goals already. As you can see, the reason why he doesn't get in is because Morgan is still up front in this one striker formation. And deservedly so. I mean, he hasn't actually started a game this season. I think he was injured at the beginning.
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
But the rest of the team does look rather strong still.
Yeah, just slightly tweaked it a little bit, and I've gone for more of attacking midfield, should I say.
Yeah.
So rather than have a defensive mid just sat there, I've just booked them more forward. Let's go for it. And like you say, the in possession is more important than the out possession. So that's what I've gone for as well, really.
And your eyes do not deceive you. Dad has decided to do 3 playmakers next to each other.
Yeah.
Don't ask why, because I don't know.
That's hopefully it works. They're just setting the other 2 up. Or Morgan up, should I say.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I mean, you can't deny it don't work.
That's right.
I'm not going to question it. Yeah. It's working somehow.
It's working so far, so I'm going to take that.
3 playmakers.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Football, eh? All right, what's this? Season number 7 then, an interesting one. Can one of us get into the championship this year?
Come on, I should.
At the minute, it looks like it's going to be Dad. With the start that I had, I really didn't expect things to turn around so quick. However, when we faced Dad in October, I was pleasantly surprised at not only where our team was sat, but also how they performed on the day against Dad's very good Southend team. It was unlike a lot of games that we have played against each other recently, and only 3 goals were scored, all coming off the boot of a Morecambe player. Dad was still flying in the league, which is what made this more surprising, and by New Year was actually sat comfortably in the playoffs while I was down in 11th place. We then clashed again in January, and it came back to regularly scheduled programming, a back and forth contest where Dad took an early lead after just 4 minutes. My Morecambe side equalised and then scored to take the lead 2-1 on the 25th minute. However, this was not my day, and Dad's side pulled it back to 2-2 and eventually scored the winner in a banger of a match to win 3-2. And as the months went on, Dad clearly stepped into being one of the favourites for that second promotion spot as we head into April, while I was loitering near the playoffs. April was in fact a good month for my Morecambe side as we then closed the gap to just a point to the playoffs with some big wins. Dad's April consisted of just 2 games, one of which he drew, and that dropped him back down into 3rd place with a game to go. which means on the final day of the season he sat in 3rd place and a point behind Oxford, but guaranteed a playoff spot. Well, I'm sat in 8th place, but just a point behind the playoffs and need results to go my way. This made for a dramatic final day where Oxford drew 1-1, leaving the door wide open for Dad Southend, who unfortunately blew it, losing to Wickham 3-0 and staying in the playoffs. I was relying on games elsewhere to go my way, but we still needed to win ourselves, and going away to Peterborough, Mvogo, our top scorer, gave us a 4th minute lead. On the 7th minute, we then created another chance which we scored from through Derry, and as that was happening, elsewhere we had some good news as well, because results elsewhere went in our favour, and both Reading and Huddersfield were dropping points on the final day, and with Kelvin's injury time 3rd crowning our celebrations of making the playoffs. The final league table see me sneak into that all-important 6th spot with just 2 points behind Dad, who dropped down into 4th, meaning the playoffs lined us up with potentially being able to meet in the final. We had to keep our end of the deal up and defeat Watford, which didn't go as planned at home as we lost the first leg 1-0 to a 92nd minute winner on the counter-attack. Dad Southend travelled away to AFC Wimbledon and took the lead twice, with the second being the winner and both goals coming from striker Taylor. Taylor then scored 2 more goals in the second leg at home to secure Dad's spot in the playoff final, which left it up to us to go to Watford and cause an upset, but we couldn't get anything going. That was until the 82nd minute, when we finally broke the deadlock to equalise the tie. Needing another goal, both teams pushed, not wanting extra time, and finally in the 97th minute, Morecambe capitalised with the St Burrows to Parker combination, and it's really happening. To be promoted and take the next step towards the race to the Premier League, one of us would have to defeat each other at Wembley. With us getting one result against each other throughout the season and only being a point between us all year, it was a tough one to call as well. It was a really tight game up until the 27th minute, where eventually Dad Southend side released Dave Taylor, who beautifully chipped the goalkeeper to make it 1-0. But then disaster, as just 6 minutes later, an easy cross was then fumbled by Dad's keeper and my Morecambe side was level. Eventually, this was ending in penalties and my main guy Mvogo stepped up and missed the first one. Not a good start. This was then followed by goal after goal in the shootout, with us chasing the score, and at this point until Dad's sweet butt stepped up and his penalty was saved. Level again, we continued to smash in some fantastic penalties as the shootout then went into sudden death, where the next miss would be fatal. And as the long walk was made by Basinger, my goalkeeper Abba looked confident and made the crucial save to send Morecambe into the championship. Penalties! I don't know how I've managed to pull this one off.
Nor do I.
Looking at how it did at the start of the season compared to the end, very different season.
I don't believe this.
That is crazy.
My end of season cost me again.
Yeah, that final game against Wickham that you lost.
Yeah, and there's a couple of games before that where I drew as well. I shouldn't have drew those games. And I'm looking at 2 points from automatic promotion.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. One of those games to win it instead of bloody draw or lose. And then I get you in the bloody playoff final.
81 points.
Of course I did.
79 that you had. A loss to Wickham on the final day of the season, who are down in 14th.
They weren't playing for nothing.
No. Whereas I jumped into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Miraculously, with Huddersfield and Reading dropping off there, jumping into it. So a real, real bad result.
That's 2 seasons I've chucked it away.
Yeah.
Can't keep doing it.
No. I mean, I'm benefiting from it. But yeah, there's the 3-0 against Wickham. Absolutely stuffed by them as well.
Yeah.
Considering you had all to play for and they had nothing. It's crazy.
So I'm looking at that those 2 games I drew there, the Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient. You win those games, it's done. Job done.
Yeah.
You know, the Bristol Rovers there.
84th minute.
84th minute. Look, come on. I was 2-1 up for a long time. That's the games. I mean, Wickham, yeah, you think, I've chucked it away there because I've lost. I only had to win it. But when those 2 games there as well, you should be winning them games.
Yeah.
I mean, Bristol Rovers are further down in the league as well. So
the games we had against each other, you defeated me there 3-2 earlier on in the season as well. I beat you 3-0 in that one. So whoever had home advantage there was winning the game. So,
yeah.
Yeah, managed to do it. But hey, I'm going up to the championship.
God. Such a
got
good
the early
start to the
advantage
season
there.
as well.
Don't know whether you've been giving your budgets yet, because that doesn't look like you have. But let's have a quick look at the squad for this season, Dad. Dale Taylor, who at the beginning of the season, remember, wasn't getting into the team.
No. I mean, I would say he probably played nearly every game by the looks of it.
32 goals. Really good.
Yes.
Free transfer, remember. Dale Taylor. Great signing.
Yep, well done.
Peter Sweetbert didn't play as many games as what I thought. Youngster. Maybe he's got quite a lot of value in him as well. Fabio Tavares is still knocking around. I think there were a couple of signings you should breeze through next year. I mean, your players that you're losing doesn't really make that much of a difference. George Broadbent's one of them. You could go about George Broadbent easy.
Yeah. I've got quite a few players in that position as well, which is probably as good.
Those are the two that you signed on for big money.
Yeah.
Where you wasted the Frank Molyneux money. Like, those can go easy, and you can just replace them with free transfers that are just far better. And I think you should be all right, to be honest, because they're on high wages too, like 3.5 each. Like, you'll get that back a couple of because you've got a big enough squad now, I think, to be able to do that. But yeah, what am I going to do? Because that's the question. Going up another division now, I've really got to rely on loans, I think. And unless they give me silly money, which I don't think they will. 28 goals from Invogo with 18 assists as my attacking midfielder. Brilliant. The shadow striker with 14 finishing. Really good signing that I managed to pick up there. Thankfully, it was on a free transfer as well. I didn't pay a penny. 20 league goals with 15 assists.
It's good.
Solid. Only worth 1.8. How are you getting really high valued players and I'm just getting nothing? It's mental, isn't it? But there we go. All right. Only 1.8 to 2.4. Probably won't sell him. I'll probably try and keep hold of him. In terms of players that I'm losing, it's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, if I can't keep any of these players, my squad is going to be 11 players.
Oh, you need a good budget then, really, don't you?
I need a full rebuild. I mean, my squad already small.
I wouldn't say you'd lose all of them, because you do manage to keep a couple, don't you? But then you look at the wages that sort of help you as well. So
there's only 6 players there, which means I've only got 17 players in my first team squad. Like, we are bare bones team here.
2 of them were keepers as well.
Yeah, 3.
No, that you was losing on the contracts.
Yeah, but 3 of my players out of the 17 were keepers.
Yeah.
Umar Abba looks really good. As long as we got Umar, we'll be happy. We've got him for another 2 years anyway. Kelvin Wi-Fi did manage to get 24 goals. We got Oliver Bose with 24 as well with 13 assists. But the wingers, Bradley Burrows got 25 assists. Solid signing. Might have gone under the radar a little bit because I didn't make too much of a big deal out of him at the time. But what a free transfer he has been. 17 assists last year, 16 this year. Solid campaigns for him. Done really well for me.
Definitely.
And Jesse Derry on the other side, who is one of the players that I am leaving. And probably, I don't think he might even sign Would he sign a new contract, please? No. He wants to leave, so that's one of my main transfers gone.
You just can't understand these players, but you get promoted to the championship and they want to leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of them definitely gone. 2 million in the bank, which is good. Great money.
That's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, with 51 grand in wages. So at least they are not chucking me under the bus. I've had promotions before where it's you got nothing and you go, what do you want me to do?
And you lose 5 or 6 players as well.
Yeah, so at least, we can actually bring in players. I've just got to be really astute with my money going into season number 8 in the championship. I want to just check one thing then. The championship itself, what is it looking like? Because this is going to be an interesting for me to go into the type of players, the type of clubs that I'm going to have to face. So West Ham and Blackburn have just got promoted. Burnley and Leicester might get promoted. Yeah. Either one of those. Southampton's in there. Sunderland's in there. Argyle's done quite well. And they've stayed in there.
Coventry, Preston,
West Brom, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United and Cardiff.
Just carries on, doesn't it?
Yeah, going down is Millwall, Colchester and Sheffield Wednesday. What about the 3 clubs going down into it? Leeds, Palace, Wolves. It's half games.
Really? I mean, 2 of those, no disrespect to Leeds because they are in the Premier League now, but they haven't been for a long time. But Crystal Palace and Wolves, you expect to see them in the Premier League. But
mainstays,
Leeds are going to be such an odd team in your league now.
Yeah. So that is going to be very interesting. Let's see what this summer brings. My transfer window was very bittersweet. We welcomed in some fantastic players and spent just 625k on 11 new signings. But we lost a good amount of players to contracts ending and not renewing, including McDermott, Jesse Derry and Asamoah. That had a rather quiet window as well, with just one key player joining in striker Oden Yinka on a free transfer. His focus was mainly on getting his system optimised and replicating his season from last year, and hoped that he had a little bit more luck. I was dealing with some problems in Morecambe though, as Burrows was adamant on leaving, but there was just no interest in him and he only had 1 year left on his deal. With my new players, I decided to adopt a slight change to my system, bringing in a second attacking midfielder from that striking role. And life in the Championship was actually starting rather well for me, as we win the opening game of the season against Burnley 2-0. Back in League One, and Dad has dropped some points already with 2 draws at the start of the season, but no losses yet. He's still happy with the start that his Southend side has made. Alright, Dad, good start to the season.
Yes.
Dropped a couple of points in the league, just 2 draws there. But if you're looking at it, I mean, nobody's really running away with it. Colchester are the only team that have got a little bit further points than what you have. They just drew 1 game instead of the 2. But you scored way more than them. They've just been better defensively. So you got the same goal difference at this point. And recruitment, it was really quiet for you this summer.
I didn't have a lot of money to play with.
You sold one player, Peter Sweetbert, for 500k.
That sort of just give me the money sort of enough to sort of buy the player that I've gone out and got, really, another striker. So swap the striker for a striker, really.
I think you had a lot of problems with I did, where it's like renewing contracts. They are asking for ridiculous contracts.
So there's not much I can change, really. So I just thought, well, I'm going to change my tactic and try and go a little bit more attacking. Yeah. That's what I've gone for, really.
Yeah, so in possession, you got a 4-2-2. Out of possession, going for a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. And I've gone for a positive mentality as well, rather than the what was I on?
Balanced
one, yeah. Because I feel that I've been thereabouts for 2 seasons now, so I know the squad are strong enough for this league to do it. So this is it. I'm going for it this time.
Yeah, Pivas, by the way, being locked in at centre back. Yeah, he's normally a defensive midfielder.
He was one of my best players, and it just felt sorry for him not to be in the team, and I'm not playing a defensive midfield position. So when I looked at it, I thought, well, he can play in that position. So I'm going to lock him in that position and just take a chance, really, to get him on the pitch, really. So hopefully it works for me.
Okay, well, you started off quite well. Let's have a look to see what I've been up to. Promotion to the Championship. And I have changed my tactic as well, ever so slightly. So looking at it, I didn't lose any players, but released players-wise, there was a couple obviously going out. You can see quite a lot did leave the club. And a few of them were first teamers. When Asamoah was the goalkeeper that I was barking on about a few seasons ago, he's left the club because he wasn't getting any game time. Tommy McDermott and Alex Bass is another goalkeeper there. I suppose Tommy McDermott. And Jesse Derry was the winger who got loads of assists last season. So I did have quite a lot of places to replace. And at one point I only had like 12 players, which we've seen. So I had to bring in a lot of players. Well, a fair amount. I've brought in 4, but I've got a lot that already came in. It's weird. Again, it's doing that thing where it doesn't show. Oh, hold on, we're on release players. Might be why. Nope, it literally just isn't showing anybody. 11. There we go. Right. 11 players have joined the club. A couple have gone out on loan. So if we're looking at it, I did go and buy quite a lot of players from the African League again. Now, we've managed to get work permits for some of them, like this man here, Cheikh Kanji, 21 years of age from Senegal, come from Generation Foot for 240k. He's now worth like £5 million. I think he looks excellent. Yeah. What a left back. Looks absolutely solid, so he's really good. Lamine Diouf, who I tried to sign a few seasons back at Oxford, finally got him on quite a cheap deal. He was transfer listed. Really good secondary striker. Obviously, I've got a good one in there already. Sonny Perkins, a bit of a callback to race to the Prem. You had Sonny Perkins.
He was one of
my
players that done really well for me when he for a few seasons. Yeah.
So I'd seen him on there. He was playing in Ireland. I signed him because I've opened up now on my recruitment. I've gone and opened it up to the UK and Ireland, the scouting range. So it was just on the Championship and below. Before that, so now I've opened it up, putting a little bit more money into my scouting to try and find these little gems that are much cheaper than buying them from the English league.
Yeah,
I think I've done quite well with that. So Sligo Rovers, 125k for Sonny Perkins. Then we got Semu Sane, 55k, just another good winger who can also play up front, very well rounded there. So happy with that one. From Cotton Sport, Jax Dikwa, 18k. Now this one I literally found because I did the attribute thing where I just plugged in every attribute and then made it like at least 12, 16, and made him really young.
Yeah.
And I found Jax Dikwa. He's not very good. He wasn't asking for much wages. I literally just got him in because it was like numbers. He also plays up front with 6 finishing, but 15 tackling, 18 aggression, and 20 bravery. Somebody don't know where he should be playing.
No, they don't know.
So he's playing non-competitive, and he's actually got 2 goals and an assist already in my under-18s team. I don't know whether we'll ever see him, but there we go. Otonga, who was a free agent. Not a bad little right back there from 20 years of age from Gabon. Doesn't look, the new gen face doesn't look like he's from Gabon, but there we go. Tommy Simkin needed a goalkeeper after losing 2 of them. He comes in as a good replacement there. We've also got Ellis Gillyhead, who I think I've loaned out to Stevenage. I have as a right back because we had 3 right backs that did come in, and he's not bad to be honest, and he deserved game time, so that's why he's gone out. Desi White Mulaney on loan. Good loanee transfer there on the right hand side, can also play up front. Very good physical attributes and determination and flair. But then we've also got Craig Ward, who can also go up front as well as that left hand side of midfield. So we've got lots of options to play up front now. But my best signing, I possibly think, came quite late on in the transfer window, the start of August there. Tyler Silsby on a free transfer. He is fantastic. Comes in potentially as my star player now, really.
Yeah.
So high wages, 10 grand. It took me a while to be able to afford him. He was playing in the Championship at Burnley. Never really got any game time. But last season, finally given first team football and did very well. An average rating of 7.29 in the Scottish Premiership. So I'm hoping he can come in and sort of be the catalyst of everything going forward, because that good dribbling, finishing, first touch, good composure, determination, natural fitness, pace, acceleration's all good. So I'm hoping he can help out with that. Now, we are playing ever so slightly different to what we was last season. Last season, of course, we went 2 up top with the 1 in behind. This season, I brought it back just a little bit because we found some really good attacking midfielders. So this is the best 11. It actually puts the guy that I loaned out in there because, of course, it does. But other than that, I didn't actually touch the back 3 of Sefton, McGuinness, and ABBA in the defensive line there, so hopefully they're good enough. But with McIntosh still holding fort down in centre mid, there's lots of options now. I do have a good amount of players in there. My squad is quite big now, thankfully, but there's lots of options, and I think Silsby, Perkins, and Duff are really going to help. Ward and White are the 2 players who seem to be playing up front. It does mean, of course, the likes of Burrows and the likes of Oliver Boast and Kelvin Wi-Fi have dropped out. Boast is actually injured. They are all running out of contract at the end of the season, and none of them want to actually renew. And Bradley Burrows, who was fantastic last year, actually put in transfer request. Nobody came in for him. So seems a little bit pointless right now. I would keep him, but he's only on 6 grand. I imagine if he does want to stay, that's going up.
Oh, he'll double that, won't he?
Exactly. So at the minute, we aren't going to be playing a lot of them, so I'm sort of preparing without them already, and they could just be bit part players. So be it. Now, start of the season has gone a lot better than what I thought. We began by beating Burnley 2-0, Notts County in the Cup. Draw into a little weird patch here, 2 draws and a loss, but some difficult fixtures, 2 Welsh games in there. Beating Shrewsbury and knocking out Arsenal in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, that's a good result, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a result. Get in.
On penalties as well, Gravenberch and William Saliba missing the penalties, but hey, we had to take them to a penalty shootout, and we actually took the lead.
Yeah.
Had to go 1-0 down. But a draw as well against Crystal Palace. So in the Championship, we are currently sort of just lower mid-table, which is absolutely fine. If that's where I finish, I would be buzzing at the start of at the end of the season there. So, but the season preview, I imagine,
put you right down the bottom.
Probably. Oh yeah, 450 to 1. We don't stand a chance according to this.
Not an open house chance.
So this is going to be a tricky season, but I got full faith in the players that I bought.
Who's the favourite to go up then?
QPR. Yeah, who weren't promoted or relegated. They were just in there already, as well as Sunderland and Luton, who only went up a couple of seasons ago, Luton, so they must have a little bit of money in there. But yeah, all right. I do fancy our chances to survive, but anything can happen across the season. Let's just hope it doesn't all go downhill from here for both of us, and maybe Dad can join us in the Championship next year. The start for my Morecambe side in this first Championship season was maybe a little unexpected, as out stepped Tyler Silsby, who by Christmas has racked up the most goals with 11, but also the most assists with 12. And I could not be more pleased with how things are going in the Championship for our first year, as we currently sit in the top half going into the new year. For Dad at Southend, he had 2 guys banging in the goals, and neither was Dave Taylor. Instead, Morgan stepped up as the main goal scorer this season, and alongside him in terms of stats was the right winger Alfie Hutchinson, who had bagged in a solid amount of goals going into January. And just over halfway through the season, he was sat in 3rd place and chasing those automatic promotions. Things were on track to do that until a bad patch in late January, followed by another in March, dropping Dad back into the playoffs with Huddersfield having a game advantage and 3 points clear. Meanwhile, in the division above, I was staying out of all the drama and even crept into 9th place in the league. Over the next few weekends though, Dad's Southend side watched as Huddersfield continuously dropped points, winning just 1 league fixture in April, while Dad was winning 2 and drawing 2 at Southend, leaving the league table looking very tight going into the final fixture of the season and that automatic promotion spot in the balance for both sides. All Dad had to do was match or better Huddersfield's result against the current champion Sheffield Wednesday, and he will send Southend up into the Championship with me for next season. And remarkably, neither game had a single goal scored, and Dad Southend held on to his 2nd place automatic spot. Dad, with your form, I mean, you were running the risk.
Oh, I nearly chucked it away again.
81 points.
Yeah. I'm pleased with that.
Huddersfield and Watford still to play the playoff final, which means obviously Huddersfield might join you, but yeah, 81 points, and the form towards the end of the season, it's like nobody wanted to get promoted.
I would say Huddersfield done the same as me. Like they chucked it away.
Even Sheffield Wednesday lost 2.
They were trying to give it to me.
Drew 3 there that didn't win in their last 5. It's like nobody actually wanted to get promoted. Everybody was crapping themselves, but you've done it.
Yes,
you're up.
Thank God for that. Third time successful. Yes,
yeah, you scored
lucky.
the most goals with 99. So it was a good season all around in League One to finally get up there. Most goals scored, and you can see some of your players were dotted around. I think they were dotted around. No, maybe they're not actually. I thought your goalkeeper, the striker was, but it's the Sheffield Wednesday one that's on loan from Aston Villa. But either way, very good, because now you're joining me in the Championship because I did manage to survive.
Yeah, well
so
done.
we've got to be happy with that. Back into the same division again against each other, and not only did I survive, I'm actually really pleased with how I did, finishing in 12th place, top half of the league.
Yes, I'll be happy with that next season.
Really good. So Hull and Sunderland have gone up into the Premier League. I'm sat there with even a positive goal difference, which I'm the lowest team to have a positive goal difference as well, which is great. So Luton were there as well, just above me. But I mean, Middlesbrough, Plymouth and Argyle going down.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't far, a couple of points away from a lot higher than what you were. 3 points. It took you all the way up to like 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So playoffs were only 72. Playoffs were only 6 points above me. So just an extra 2 wins.
Yeah.
I just did very well in not losing as many games. You can see even the clubs above me, Preston, lost 9 more games than me. It's just like they won a few more.
Yeah.
And that's why they finished above.
And drew only 4.
Yeah.
Drew 18.
So I was just harder to beat, I think, and that's the main thing. So let's have a look at your squad then, going into the next season. Don't think you've been giving your budgets yet, so we won't have a look at that just yet, because there's 0 in there, so that'll be awkward. But goals-wise, Iwan Morgan, 24 with 9. He's been great since you've brought him in. Dale Taylor with 19. Alfie Hutchinson with 19 and 15. Some good goal tallies and good goal contributions in those 4 at the very least.
Yeah, I'd sort of evened it out with all the ones that were scoring the goals as well, which is what I like to see. I like to see more than one striker scoring the goals, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really pleased with that, really.
Even Malik Adeyika, who obviously you just signed, he didn't play that many games. He might have picked up a bad injury, but 20 games, 9 off the bench, and he got 12.
Yeah.
With a good average rating.
Good return from him, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully you've got a little bit of money.
How did the player get on with drop back into midfield?
He still isn't a natural in that position, but he might be too late to be that.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But then he done the job for me. I needed
Yeah.
a sort of that position to be filled a bit better. So
It's next season now, and you might have money to actually just bring in a legit centre back.
Yeah,
'Cause you
definitely,
didn't really have anything. You were kind of restricted at the end of last season. Let's have a look squad wise then at how this Morecambe side managed to survive in the Championship. I'm proud of the boys. Now they didn't score that many goals. Tyler Silsby was the best player, 15 and 15. Lamine Diouf with 13 and 11. So the two loan signings that I managed to bring in, Craig Ward being one of them, only got 9, and Desi White Mulaney, who do have the same face, by the way, which is the new gen face back, only got 7 and 11. So that kind of backfired.
Yeah.
Because I might have been able to keep the Oliver Boast if he had played quite a lot of games, but now he is really unhappy and wants to leave almost immediately. So it's a shame because Oliver Boast has carried us for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And he is going to be gone, as is a couple of others. Kelvin Wi-Fi would also be leaving. He hasn't played a single start this season, which is a shame. Mark McGuinness, who played 41 games, he's going as well. Bradley Burrows, who was asking to move to a bigger club. I wonder whether he will enter contract negotiations. Nope. So, yeah, I'm losing Bradley Burrows as well. So there's a lot of players leaving the club. And I haven't been given any... Well, I've been given 675 grand, but I'm over the wage budget. I kind of need them to leave now.
Yeah.
And just be like, just go so I know how much and who I can bring in because... yeah, I'm happy with the team I got. I just need to replace these two with maybe one good striker, and that might be all I do next season. If I can keep hold of the rest of the lads who managed to keep us there, maybe a centre-back too. I think centre-back and striker are the two positions I really need to focus on next year.
Both chasing centre-back, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, make sure you do not miss what happens next in the Race to the Prem as we rebuild two clubs that were almost extinct in Morecambe and Southend. Let's see what happens when we both enter the Championship.